radio is not just the love of listening and the audio noise, whether it's in music or spoken word. It's also an institution, and I think this is the thing that we're finally getting our heads around, is that these institutions don't have to be controlled by a central authority, that these are institutions that we can create as communities, and so they're a way of structuring our collective activity. And the radio stations around the world that I've had the real privilege of visiting and working with over the years, they become spaces, both virtual and physical, that create a capacity within the community to talk about things and to learn about things and to do things. So you don't associate radio with doing something, but in fact a lot of community radio stations help people to do things. And the examples from Northern Canada that you shared today, Stephen, are really relevant in this case. I think shows like, communities do things, and it's just a way of structuring them when you work in community radio with them. And it's the same thing on campuses across the university. Campus radios just helps people do things. One of them is mobilize their knowledge. If they love animals, they do a program on animals, and they sort of are able to mobilize that knowledge and research into the area a bit more. So I think as institutions, we should always remember that institutions aren't necessarily the public sector or the private sector, that in civil society we can create our own institutions to structure our own ways of thinking about things and talking about things. And it's this very, I would say, innate democratic kind of philosophy that underlines community radio that is, for me, very exciting. And I hope one day when I have more time that I can start a community radio station somewhere, and I'm not sure where that will be, but wouldn't that be the greatest thing, that we could all just sort of embrace that? And what I love about the new convergence with the internet and other technologies is that the process now is so simple to do. And so really anyone can do it. So isn't it exciting to think that the future of radio might be like that, and not about the four Jeffs sitting up front saying, oh dear, our audience numbers are much lower. Well, no, who cares? Let the audience create their own radio stations, and let's be social through radio. Isn't that a great idea? So that's just some final thoughts for myself.